What's going on, my friend? I'm going to show you the story about how 3 years ago I was going to be getting married in Ibiza. I had a successful business, but on the inside, it was a completely different story from what it looked like on the outside. On paper, it looked like I had the success and everything was going as it should. On the inside, I was lost, confused, I was on medication for anxiety, and I really didn't know what I should be doing with my life. I'm going to show you the one thing that took me from being this people pleaser, confused and really quite desperate guy to now living life on my terms, and I know where I'm going. Okay, people pleasing, nice guy behavior, there's lots of different definitions and way people might define it. My way of saying it is that you're not living life on your terms and you need to raise your standards. You're living life for validation, acceptance from others. And to come out of it, you need to work out what you want and where you're going. So this is me, okay? What happened? As I said, it was classic nice guy behavior. I wasn't living life on my terms. I was only living to be liked, okay? I've been doing this my whole life without knowing. It's about abandoning yourself to live life by other people's standards rather than your own. And you're left trying to always fit in and to be liked rather than living life aligned with what means most to you. Constantly you're chasing things you see around you, what society says you need to have. I was like any other guy, okay? But on the outside, I was doing well. I was successful on paper, money, business, relationship, whatnot, okay? Physically healthy, and I didn't actually have a problem with attracting women. But on the inside, I was lonely because I was attracting women for the wrong reason. I was seeking attachment, validation, and it constantly ended up resulting in self-sabotaging the relationships. I was lost because I didn't actually have a clear direction authentically for myself linked up to where I wanted to go. And because of this, because I wasn't being my true self, anxiety attacks were really just like the norm. I couldn't make a decision without doubting myself, overthinking and getting overwhelmed. And my self-worth, I didn't know it, but it was pretty much non-existent. I was constantly chasing approval from everyone else because I thought everyone else was better than me. Now, I can say I'm confident and comfortable in my own skin. I make decisions easy because I know where I'm going and I know what I want in life. Women find me more attractive because I'm a man who is being authentic, okay, rather than someone making myself up to be someone who I think they will like. I'm more focused, driven, motivated, and I'm honestly excited about my future because it is aligned authentically with what I want, and I've never been more fulfilled. And this all comes from raising my standards and getting aligned with what means most to me. So how did all this happen, yeah? As I said, on paper, it looked like I had it all, okay? But I was just like that typical guy from school that fell into life and didn't really know what he wanted to do. So you drop into this life because you think you're, as a guy, supposed to provide, supposed to be strong, build status, led by money. And you're all while looking for a partner. But you see, unknowingly, all of this behaviour, yeah, was me trying to fit in, to be liked, accepted, acknowledged, and be part of the crowd, rather than going on uniquely to what means most to me. And all that time, no one tells you, really go inwards and work out what is right for you, okay, and live the life that you want. Because no one else is really doing it, and no one else is telling you to do that. And that's where my life broke down, right? Because I wasn't really actually living my life anyway. Maybe you can relate to this. I've been climbing someone else's ladder and I've been living someone else's life. Society had me swept under the rat race, like many people, but you never stop to come up for air or question it. Until suddenly, it's like feels too late, but you implode. I've been on as I said, meds for a couple of years, and I couldn't be more confused. So I broke up with my partner, cancelled the wedding, and sold the house. And a couple of close friends to me, they said, "Son, follow your gut and do what makes you happy." So I wasn't running away, but I went inwards. I travelled. I went to find the answers of what I wanted to do with my life. And straight away I started meeting people that were living life on their terms, authentically, for what means most to them, rather than being another hamster on the hamster wheel, rat in the rat race. So I started reconnecting with the wild, creative, free, true, authentic side of myself and working out who I really was. And in this, I started to feel peace, a real deep inner peace. So the process I went through is the same work I do with guys, right? It's the time to stop living on default. Get aligned with what your unique priorities and values are, not by what you see around you. With guys, we create a crystal clear vision of what their lives, what they really want them truly to look like, based on what they value, what lights them up, and who they really are, raising their standards. In a deep personal way, what is true to them, not to anyone else. And life begins to shift immediately when you go on this course. They become more confident because they feel they're on purpose. Decision making becomes easy because you have a clear direction. Stop chasing people or to be liked because they start to feel enough as they are inside because they're connected to who they truly are. And the right kind of people enter your lives, and the same for opportunities. And the wrong ones, they drift away. And also, you will become the man you're meant to be. So the real problem is, this is what I learned, yeah? When we're young, when we're very, very young, unfortunately, the best job our parents did, our needs were not met at some point, okay? So we be the person that we think we need to be accepted, for that attachment that we yearn so much. And for this attachment, we constantly try to be liked, to be validated, okay, to be accepted. And this is what we carry on, this behaviour, all the way through our lives. But deep down, it leaves us feeling lost and empty because you've abandoned your true self from a young age. You've carried on living on in the ego. So what you need to do is go deep inside, reconnect with who we are, and learn to accept ourselves, that we are already enough as we truly, authentically are inside, and start living on your terms straight away. So yeah, things that are holding me back, it's not easy, yeah? Not easy at all. I can't sugarcoat it. It's not easy. Transformation change requires facing serious fears, fear of failure, judgment, letting go of the life that's actually become quite normal and comfortable for you. When I zoomed out, I realised the only thing that was stopping me was myself. We are amazing at getting in our own way with limiting beliefs and fears. All these mental barriers, the what if stories, okay? But you can rewrite your truth. And this is exactly what I did. And when you do this, everything will change and opportunities, the right opportunities, start arising for you. I say, if I can do it, so can you. So can anyone. So how's it happen? Okay, on a fundamental level, you have to change your environment, what you see around you. Okay, so I changed where I lived, who I was around, and what I'm consuming. My behaviours, I started living far more consciously, building healthier habits and routines. Capabilities, you've got to learn new skills, communication, okay, leadership, other health and masculine traits. Rewriting your story, the true beliefs, values, crystal clear clarity on what values and priorities are most important for you. And then you start stepping into your new identity, you become grounded and aligned with who you really are. When you do this, my friend, you're living life on purpose. And what is meant for you will come to you. And you'll be living your life true to yourself. That's the difference between surviving and thriving. So what now? Okay, I take the pleasure of working with men. And the piece of work I do with every guy, every single guy I work with that we have in common, they raise their standards. They commit to living life on their terms, and they promise to no longer live for approval of others. They approve of themselves, and they get aligned with what means most to them and start living that life straight away. and they do not look back. And because of all of this, they have greater relationships, the relationships that are right for them, because they're more confident and better leaders. They know themselves and they no longer feel lost because they know where they're going. They're motivated for their future. They have more drive. They love themselves wholly and no longer seeking validation externally. So, as I said, all of these guys that I've worked with, okay, all these guys, the first thing we did is get aligned with what means most to them, work out what their values are, got crystal clear, and create that vision of where they wanted to go. And as soon as you start living truly what is meant for you, the world starts to deliver the things that are right for you, and you build a stronger belief. Okay, all those old beliefs and those fears, they drift away because you start living your true truth. Okay, you have a new North Star towards your head, what you're heading in, and all these guys, this is the process I went through with them. So, my friend, if this hits home for you, let's talk. You can book a free 15-minute clarity call with me. If you scroll down and you find the link, click the link and book the call. We can have a free conversation. And you don't have to live a life that wasn't meant for you anymore, stay stuck, and you can raise your standards. And when you do, everything will change and you can start living a life on purpose. I look forward to seeing you very soon on the other side. Thank you.